Hey folks, it's your life in the lane of real estate on the Uncommon Realty Show.
Welcome to the show today. This is Kenyatta Goins. I am here with my good friend, Charles Richardson, the Uncommon Realtor. And we're going to talk today about how and why Charles got started in real estate and what his vision is. He's going to share quite a few things. This is the first of many shows, folks. So get ready to be mesmerized by this wisdom and knowledge this man has that he's getting ready to share with you each week. We're going to come to you from the studio and share some key points about real estate, investing, and wealth building. Charles, how are you doing today?
I'm amazing. How about yourself?
Amazing. I'm loving life. I'm so excited about EXP and Uncommon Real Estate company team that I had to get you in here so we could launch off into the deep. So let me start by asking you a few questions, Charles, if I may. Why did you choose to work in the arena of real estate?
I chose real estate because real estate was one of the wealthiest industries in the world. And I recognized that by working in the area of real estate, it was an opportunity for me to generate wealth, generational wealth, passive income, and the lifestyle that I had always wanted to achieve. You know, one of the things that I did as a young man is I watched the rich and the wealthy. And a couple of things that I've noticed that the rich and the wealthy had in their portfolio was real estate. And I knew that if I did not take a chance by way of working in the area of real estate, investing in real estate, if I didn't take a chance, I knew I did not stand a chance. So I've been working in the area of real estate now for about 30 years, and it's the most exciting thing that I have ever done.
Wow, that's powerful. I like that phrase. If you didn't take a chance, you wouldn't stand a chance.
That's true.
That's truly powerful and inspiring at the same time for people. I hope they grab that and run with it.
Yes.
So the next question would be, how and where did you start investing in real estate?
I started investing in the city of Detroit. I worked for a library called the Detroit Public Library. I worked in the main branch. And on my break, I used to read this newspaper article called the Detroit Legal News. And in this newspaper article, there's a section that talked about anyone who applied for, let's say, a marriage license, a liquor license, anyone who started a corporation, anyone who filed bankruptcy. But there was a section that I used to home in on. And this section talked about individuals who were in trouble with their properties, and the properties were going to be auctioned off at the county courthouse stairs off of Jefferson Avenue. So that's where I started. But the first investment property that I acquired, now granted, this was many, many years ago, I paid $3,000 for this property. I put about $1,500 worth of work into the property, and I sold that property for $26,500. But the ironic thing is I carried the paper on it. Oh. There was no mortgage on it. I just had to pay back the previous loan that someone had taken out. And this particular family had put a new roof on the house, and they paid back everything but $3,000. So I sold the property for $26,500. I found someone who gave me $4,500 as a down payment. And I got all of my money back, and I generated cash flow every month as a result. And back then, it was not a lot of money. I think the monthly payment was roughly $300 a month. But back then, my mortgage payment was $500 a month. So I was practically paying off my house by way of an investment property. But to answer your question, I started in the city of Detroit.
Okay. And there's some interesting stories along with that. We'll get to that later.
There are some stories.
There's some stories, folks. But we'll get to those in a minute here. Let me ask you the next thing here is what age were you when you got started in real estate?
I started at age 29, but at age 18 is when I started reading this newspaper article. And I'm not proud to say this, but it took me from age 18 to age 29 before I bought my first investment property.
So, in your opinion, what took you so long to get to that point?
What stopped me is the same thing that stops many people. I allowed fear to stop me. I had limiting beliefs that someone like me, coming from where I came from, I could not be successful at it. But little did I know, I've never done anything that has caused so much success in my life than investing in real estate. But fear, doubt, limiting belief systems, I allowed to stop me from doing what it is that I wanted to do. And Kenyatta, the ironic thing is, that is where most people are in their lives. They allow things in their past to stop them, but yet we watch other people doing what it is that we have always wanted to do. And we look at these people and we say to ourselves, I can do what they're doing better. But we don't.
You don't.
Why do we not do it when we know we can? Oftentimes we are self-sabotaging. We stop ourselves from doing what it is that we know we're fully capable of doing, but we don't do it. And one day, I just became sick and tired of being sick and tired. And my wife at the time had given birth to 2 beautiful twin girls, and I knew that I had to do something different. And real estate was going to be my ticket.
Wow.
So I went after it, and the first property that I bought, I paid $3,000 for it. The next property I purchased, I paid $900 for it, and that was a disaster. Back then you could buy a house, at the county courthouse stairs, but there was a redemption period. So I didn't see the property on the interior of it. But for 6 months, I would drive by this house and I would count down the months because I knew that upon month number 6, that was going to be my property.
Right.
And after month 6, I'll never forget this. I went and I knocked on the door and I discovered that for 6 months, that house was vacant. So I could have taken possession of the property 6 months prior to, but I didn't. And once I finally got inside the house and I started walking around and looking at everything, I discovered that the house was vacant, which tells me I could have taken possession 6 months ago.
Oh my goodness.
But as I walked around the house and so forth, I found out there was, I thought was a squatter, but it wasn't a squatter. Living in a house, that's a different story. But I walked upstairs and I discovered that the house did not have a roof on it.
Oh my goodness.
So the question became, so what do I do with this thing? I didn't have the money. I mean, I borrowed the money for the $900 to buy the house. Mm-hmm. So I wound up donating that home to a nonprofit organization and taking a tax deduction. And what looked like lemons, I turned into lemonade. But that's how and where I got started.
Wow. So you've learned many different aspects of it through trial and error.
Oh, baby, yeah.
That's what I'm hearing. Right?
Listen, I when it comes to real estate, I've been in every chair there is except the electric chair.
So this is what 30 years of experience can get you, folks. But we're going to keep moving here because the knowledge base, the background, we're building a base for this show. This is our first show. And what I want the folks to hear and know is they're not dealing with a rookie. They're not dealing with someone that hasn't gone out there and been in the trenches. But we're dealing with a pro. I like to call it a kingpin in the real estate business. It's very, very rare these days to find someone with so much experience as you, Charles. So let me ask you this next question because of that. Who helped you get your start in real estate?
There's a gentleman by the name of Chris Proteges in the city of Detroit. He actually lived in a city called Grosse Pointe. He lived in Grosse Pointe Woods and also Grosse Pointe Shores. When I was 23 years of age, he was actually the answer to a prayer. And my prayer was, I had always believed that if someone took me under their wings and trained me and coached me and taught me how to be successful, I really believed that I could become successful. And that's where most people are. Most people are looking and praying and believing that one day there is someone who's going to come along and do everything that I just described. Well, it was an answer to a prayer for me because even to this day, this person is my mentor. His family was extremely wealthy in real estate. He saw something in me, and we just really gravitated towards each other, and he reached back. And one of the things he said to me was this: what I teach you today, you need to teach to your people. He asked me to make that promise to him. And at the time, I really didn't get it. I didn't understand it because, I didn't feel like I knew anything. I was just in this learning mode. I was going through this learning curve. So I think for anyone to be successful, find someone who's doing what it is that you want to do, and go to great lengths to be around that person. And that's what I did. I can remember my family not understanding the amount of time and the effort that I took and spent being around this person. And I can remember my dad approaching my mentor and asking my mentor, what does my mentor want with me? And Chris said to him, Mr. Richardson, with all due respect, your son does not have anything that I want. Why don't you ask him, what does he want with me? And what I wanted so much to be like him. I wanted to think like him. I wanted to do the things that he did, and I wanted to have the lifestyle that he had. So he became the person that I looked up to, I respected. He was what I would call an uncommon mentor to me.
Wow. That's powerful. And to this day, you and he are close.
We're very close. There are very few decisions that I make without seeking his wise counsel. It's not that I'm not capable, but if I want to go where he has been, I want to know what he was thinking to get to where he's at, so that my thinking will be in alignment.
Wow.
So I can recall one time we had a conversation, and there were two items that I really wanted. And we were at his home. We were playing pool. And I said to him, I would like this or that.
Oh.
And he looked at me and he said, why does there still have to be an or with you? And he walked away and he walked into his library. Now, granted, he lived in a 13,000 square foot home. Beautiful mansion. And I can recall still racking up the pool table, the balls, but it stood out in my mind, what is he talking about? And I went to the library where he was, and he was reading a magazine. And I was standing at the door, and I asked him, what did you mean by that? And he said, what did I mean by what? I said, what you said. And he says, Charles, I honestly don't remember what I said. And I said, I told you that I wanted this, it was an item, or that. And he says, yes, come in, sit down. You said you want this or that. Let me share this with you. Rich people, we don't get this or that. We get it all. And until you start looking at the way I see you, you would never, when you start looking at the way I see you, you will never look at yourself the same again.
Mindset.
It's a mindset. You know, I can recall starting to have some success. Now, granted, this was almost 20 years ago, and he was retired. And I'm starting to have success in real estate, and I was making well over $200,000 a year. But he was retired, and his retirement income was well over $200,000. And I asked him this question: how is it that we can make pretty much the same amount of money in cash flow every month, but yet we live totally different lifestyles? And he said this to me: it's simple. Charles, you forgot what I've taught you. You have become like many other people. You go to work to pay your bills. Whereas I planned this lifestyle and the bills just get paid. So having the right mentor in your life is everything. And that's what that person is and continue to be for me. So the promise that I made him was that I would start teaching and training individuals things that he has taught me. And that's what I'm doing to this day.
Yes. It's exciting because I get to watch it firsthand.
Yes.
And I look at you as my mentor.
Thank you.
And, I get what you're saying because I find myself texting you or calling you or where are you at?
Right. Yes.
So I can be there. So let me ask you this next question because I could go on about you forever. Who did you study in real estate?
Oh man, I've studied many authors: Carlton Sheets, Dolph DeRoos, Robert Kiyosaki, Tom Vu. These are just a couple of people that I can think of off the top of my head that has really helped me. There's another one by the name, it's called Fortune at Your Feet. J.D. Kessler. Excellent book.
Okay.
So I started reading these books years ago, and then I started applying a lot of the things, the ideas, the concepts that were in that book. But before I would implement them, I would run them by my mentor to get his take on them.
Wow.
So, it was one of those things in which, I bought properties in which I walked away from the table with money, $30, $40, $50, $60,000. I bought properties with no money down. A lot of the things that they teach in those books, they're great ideas and concepts if you learn how to work them.
Mm.
And for the last 30 years, I've been investing in real estate. And now I'm teaching other people how to do what I've done.
Great. And you do teach a lot. And that gets me to the next bullet point here, or question, is you have another event coming up. You call it the Fast Start School that you do. And it's been a monthly event.
Yes, that event is coming up, and I'm excited about it. Yeah, that's going to be on November the 9th. Right now, I am coaching and training roughly 60 agents, and that school we're going to have breakout sessions. It's going to talk about how to attract buyers, how to attract sellers, how to attract other agents into the area of real estate, social media, branding yourself. This class is really designed for that person who wants to take their business to a whole nother level. You know, there are so many agents out there, and they're great agents. They sell homes. I'm sharing with you that a life that I lived for many years. They'll sell a home. They're excited about selling their home, but the moment they close on their home, the thought that goes through their head is this: where is my next buyer going to come from?
That's a scary thought.
It's scary because it's not one of those things in which people, when you work in the area of real estate, every 2 weeks you get a paycheck.
Right.
So that thought, and when they do get that check, sometimes that check just makes up for the drought, because they may have been working with their client 30 to 60 days. And now that they're done working with their client, they're now unemployed.
Yes.
So what I teach is, yes, it's great to work with buyers and it's great to work with sellers, but let's figure out a way in which we can generate revenue and passive income. That's one of the things that I love about working with EXP. That whole fear factor that I once had, where is the next buyer going to come from? There's a saying, your success comes in who you train. So right now I'm training a number of agents on how to become successful. And as they win, I win. That whole fear factor, guess what? It goes away, because I know, based upon the efforts of other agents and my counseling to them, I know that they're out producing the way I've taught them how to produce. And as a result, their lives are starting to change. So at this Fast Start School, this is going to be exciting. It's going to be a lot of energy. There's going to be a lot of promotions. I mean, people are asking to become a part of our Fast Start Schools, because we're the only ones who do what we do the way we do it. We do it the uncommon way.
I like to call it a production.
It's a production. it really is. It's a production.
Oh my gosh.
Because, I mean, there's so much energy that goes into it, and people walk away and they say to themselves, man, I thought this was going to be real estate, but it's so much deeper. Yes. And I have people say, Charles, I thought this was real estate, but this is so much deeper. Of course it is. Real estate is just a byproduct of who we are, of what we do.
Yes.
We change people's lives. And real estate just so happened to be one of the things in which we do by way of changing their lives. But we break strongholds in individuals' lives. We are truly uncommon real estate agents.
Yes, you are. Which brings me to something that I don't have a bullet point for, but you bring a different aspect totally to real estate from a spiritual type of side. That's what makes you so uncommon, because you're actually helping people. And I told you in the car the other day, that was what made me want to, because I've always invested. I was licensed in Michigan and Florida, and I got out of it for a while. And you spurred something in me that just lit a new fire under me, that I seen you helping people, helping agents, pulling people out from the rut they were in, not seeing what you saw in them, in themselves. You always find the best in somebody, and you have that knack for bringing it out.
Thank you.
I love that about you.
Thank you. It's a gift. I honestly believe that this is where I'm supposed to be. So, yes, it's real estate, but it's so much deeper than real estate. It's about helping that person be who they want to be.
Mm.
Be as great as they choose to be.
Right.
And at the same time, showing them that there's hope.
Yes.
Most real estate agents, investors just go through the motion. If you're going through the motion, you're dead a long time ago. You're just waiting to be buried. And I just refuse to live my life that way.
Wow. So, you see, I told you people that there's so much more fun to be had with this conversation. This man is so deep. But you're coaching roughly 60 people now, right now, on your team, and other teams are coming to you, and you're coaching, and
Yes.
you're broadening your horizons here. And you've shown me something with this real estate company that we're involved with, that has something totally different than any real estate company out there.
Yes.
Do you care to elaborate a little bit on that?
Sure. Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, I worked, prior to coming here, I worked with one of the largest real estate companies here in the city of Phoenix. I was ranked within the top 5% internationally. And then from there, I decided to open my own firm. And even opening my own firm, I recognized that there was a tremendous amount of value that was missing that I could not offer.
Yeah.
And I was in the right place at the right time, and the gentleman offered to take me to lunch, and he took me to an event hosted by EXP. EXP is the fastest growing real estate company in the country. We went from number 48 as a company to the second largest company in 1 year.
Hmm.
And I think that's attributed to the fact that we offer what agents have been looking for. They just didn't know what it looked like.
Right.
We offer agents an opportunity to build a business within a business, and that business becomes recession proof. Because, you know, EXP is the company that was built in the recession. So sometimes people ask me, well, what happens if the recession comes? Now, what are you guys going to do? You understand that that's how we grew? That's how this company evolved to where it is today. We're a cloud-based real estate company. There are no offices. There are no brick and mortars. And as a result, the company saves millions upon millions of dollars in expenses that they give back to the sales force. So every time an agent with an EXP sells a home, we're able to take 5% of our income and buy the company stock at a 20% discount. That is huge. What that is, for me, that is my retirement.
Right.
Whereas coming from the corporate world, there are people who work in the corporate world, they have 401ks and 403bs and TSAs and so forth for their retirement. But what do real estate agents have? They have nothing.
Nothing.
When they retire, the average agent has nothing more than lock boxes that they're trying to sell on eBay or real estate signs in their garage that are worthless. Why is that? Because most real estate agents don't save money. Whereas EXP, it allows an agent, such as myself, to buy the company stock at a discount. There is my retirement. So that whole fear factor of wondering, what am I going to do? Or do I have to continue to buy investment properties? And that's not a bad idea. I'll continue to do that.
Mm-hmm.
But in addition to that, I now have a retirement package that I can rely upon. And it's predicated on my production. So here's the thing. I will continue to produce doing what it is that I love to do. And at the same time, I am now setting aside money, stock, so that when I do decide I no longer want to do this, I can. So I'm doing what I want to do right now so that I can do what I would love to do later on.
Amen, brother.
Yes. That's it.
You know, like I said, there's so much more fun to be had here on the talk show. But you're going to have to come back next week and tune in and catch Charles Richardson and myself as we bring you the rest of the story.
They got to come to our Fast Start School, November the 9th.
That's right, November the 9th. Look for it. It'll be posted on our website. It'll be posted on our Christian Living Radio. It'll be posted on our Facebook page and Instagram. It'll be under Charles Richardson also. There's flyers going to be put out. If you have questions, feel free to contact us via email at expteamgoins@gmail.com or
Charles Tony Richardson on Facebook.
Okay.
I can be reached at 480-266-7028. This is Charles Richardson, the Uncommon Real Estate Agent.
This is Kenyatta Goins, the Uncommon Proege.
Thank you, folks, for tuning in today to the Uncommon Realty Show. I'm your host, Kenyatta Goins. Tune in each and every week as we bring in guests, and our mentor, Charles Richardson, leads us down the path of financial wealth and freedom. You may contact us at any time by dialing 520-812-6363 or email us at expteamgoins, that's TEAMGOINS @gmail.com. Thank you, and may God's best be yours.